Welcome to Connecting the Community podcast. I am your host, Marge Andre. I will be connecting you to people, organizations, and events that create community. I am creating this podcast in Richmond Hill, an eclectic and very culturally diverse community with lots of trees and streams and interesting people, just up the hill from Toronto. On this podcast, I will be talking with Simon Quee, Richmond Hill councillor for Ward 4. Today, we are going to talk about the Chinese New Year. Welcome, Simon.
Hey, good morning, Marge. Hey, thank you so much for your invitation here.
Oh, you are very welcome. I am so glad that we can talk about the Chinese New Year, especially now since it's coming up soon. But Simon, I'd like you to tell us a little about yourself. You've been a city councillor for just over 2 years. What did you do before that?
Yeah, so before this city councilor job, actually I was working with YRDSP as a trustee, school board trustee. So I was by elected for the school board trustee during the COVID-19 for 2 years. But before that, I was an IT engineer, so IT technician engineer for many, many years. That is whole my life
Okay.
as an engineer. Yeah.
Okay. Very good. Okay. And where did you grow up? Where did you get your education?
Yeah, I got my education from China. So I grew up in a small town in west north of China, which is very close to Xi'an city. I'm not sure if you heard that name. That city has around 2,000 to 3,000 years old. So that is where I live. And then I got the education both for master and bachelor in China. So
In China. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So that's where you were educated, but you now live here. But as a child, do you have memories of Chinese New Year back in China?
That's right. When I was young, I remember for our tradition, especially because I live with my parents. My other relatives are far away from my own home. So I live with my parents. For the Spring Festival, during my childhood remembrances, we normally get new dresses, new shoes. We eat very good dinners for around 2 weeks. So we relax, we make the fireworks during the holiday. We had a lot of the dinners and lunches with our neighbors. So that's the remembering for Spring Festival when I was young.
Okay. So you're calling it Spring Festival, not just Chinese New Year. So can you explain what the purpose, the reason for this holiday, this festival?
Yeah, from legend, because there are a lot of traditions in China. So from legend perspective, we see Spring Festival is 过年, which means pass the 年. 年 is the year, passing the year. In the tradition, year is not like a noun or like a simple year. It's an animal's name. So normally the year in China legend, and that animal eat a lot of people. So it's dark and eat a lot of people, and especially during winter time, it's very dangerous to go outside. So to get rid of that year, the animal, people start to using the fireworks and to light up at nighttime to get rid of that animal. That is how we see 过年, this is passing the year. The year actually is a dangerous animal for us. That's how it comes out.
Okay. So can you tell me more about the fireworks? Like I'm trying to imagine that.
Yeah, fireworks in the past we use in bamboos, woods, etc. But since I think it's either Ming or Qing dynasty, Ming dynasty, even it's earlier, so we get the fire powder. So for Chinese people, our Asian, we don't use that fire powder as a weapon. Instead, we're using that fireworks.
Okay.
So yeah, so light up fireworks and we enjoy, especially at nighttime. So we enjoy the beauty of the fireworks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, this New Year, this celebration, isn't just happening in China, it's happening in other countries as well?
Yeah, I just remember Korean, also I'm not sure Japan. I'm not seeing if Japan had that similar one, but in this East Southern China, Vietnam, and other countries, yes, I think that sooner or later, or less or more, because Chinese history is really long, 200, 2000, 3000 years, right?
Mhm.
Many years, many cultures impact nearby countries as well.
Okay. So, how is it celebrated here in Canada?
Oppositely, compared with China, we don't have too much of the celebrations back to China, but still, so lot of Chinese communities from GTA area, they host their event. Um, that celebration similar as other communities celebrate their own festivals. Um, because we are not allowed fireworks in Canada, so during Spring Festivals, we don't have that chance, similar as China. But I heard Toronto government already passed a motion, so they allow the fireworks being light up during Spring Festival. So I think this first time, I believe it's in February. So yeah, that what I got. Compared with China, the Canadian Chinese fair communities normally will have dinner. We're gonna send a red envelope with either money or some cashes inside to our kids or our seniors, and dinners and celebrations. It's similar as other cultures.
Okay. Okay. So January 29th is the first day of the Chinese New Year this year. And as you've already said, it's certainly more than just a one-day celebration. It's a
Mhm.
week, 2 weeks, is it?
It's around 15 days.
Okay.
So because each year the Chinese calendar is based on the lunar calendar. So every year, there are changes, right? The dates will be not dedicated for a certain of the dates. It will be changing every year. So for this year, 2025, January 25th, 29th will be the fourth day. Then will be extended for 15 days. So
Okay.
normally for the fourth day, normally you stay with your husband's family.
Okay.
And for the second or third day, you're going to travel around because that third day you go back to your wife's family. And then gradually you traveling back and forth between two family or even more families until the last day, which is 15 days. We're going to have light up the lantern. It will
Mhm.
light up the fireworks. So last day, 15 days of also another big celebration.
Okay. Lots of celebrating. So, woo. Okay. Are there specific foods associated with Chinese New Year?
Yes, normally dumpling, definitely this is the first one. Also, noodles, and also the we see nian gao, which is kind of sticky rice. In northern China, we're using the yellow rice or yellow color one. I forgot the name of that. In the southern or middle east, middle in the middle of China, we eat that sticky rice. So yeah.
Okay. That's lots of rice. Okay. I associated the color red with the celebrations.
Mhm.
There's the envelopes, those lucky envelopes are red. I see red decorations hanging. Why red?
It's interesting. Around 2000 years ago, because Chinese people, we call ourselves as Han people. Han actually is a dynasty around 2000 years old. So at that time being, because the main color of that entire dynasty, I think that's dynasty around for 400 or 500 years for the entire country. Uh, at that time being, people like dressing in the red color. So they name because this is a Han dynasty. So the people name themselves as Han people. From there on, the red color is always our most precious color since there. And also from the word perspective, red means is fire, is happiness. Um, so we also enjoy that type of the happiness through that color. So there are two, maybe two main reasons. One is from history perspective, that Han Dynasty always people, whenever the officers or the armies or soldiers always wear red color. So that's this flag colors as well. So that may be a tradition why Chinese people like red color.
Right. Okay. So it's a favorite color. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I know you play music. You're a musician of sorts. Can you, what sort of music is associated with Chinese New Year? Or is there music associated with Chinese New Year?
Yeah, normally, I won't say Asian because I don't have a study for Asian music, but for the recent modern music, normally play a few of the Spring Festival songs, which is really modern, not like a 1,000 years, like maybe less than 50, 40 years. So, in northern China, we say happiness. 恭喜恭喜 means congratulations for festival. 恭喜恭喜 In now southern China, we say 步步高 means step up, step up. So that's the maybe two songs we play along.
Okay. And are there certain instruments that are associated with Chinese? No, no. Okay.
No, no specific one. Yeah.
Okay. Now, part of the celebrations is welcoming in a new animal of the year. And I know there are 12. Can you tell us a little more about this year of the whatever animal?
Yeah. So for uh, in Chinese histories, we always believe the harmonize natures and people and the god. So there is a harmonize. We're using these 12 animals to simplify each of these 12. We say 天干 and 地支. Normally, this the 12 is the way to document or to mark the lunar calendars of them. So lunar calendar normally have 60 numbers, right? So we're using 12 of them from the Earth, and also we're using 10 of them from sky. That's the whole Chinese history. We remember or we document our lunar calendar. So the 12 animals representing this 12 from the Earth. So each one do have their own symbols and meanings.
Okay. So I know this is the year of the snake. I really have nothing against snakes, but it doesn't sound like a good animal. Are we in for a bad year?
No, actually, snake, as we always see, nothing is bad, nothing is good. We have to look at it from different angle. That's why Chinese always say harmonize, right? So snake animal in China, we also see it's named as a little dragon. From the history, snake can translate or transform itself to a dragon. So a train of years, 1,000 years, snake can translate to the animal named as jiao. It's a kind of a small dragon. And after many, many years training practice, the jiao can turn into dragon. So for snake, it's really the original tiny one, but if he works so hard, end of the day, 1,000 years practice, hard working, it can translate to be a big giant of dragon. So for us, we don't think is really a bad animal because it do have potential to become a good one.
Okay, I like that story. Okay, I will think of a snake in a different light. Okay. So how are you celebrating? What do you got some special things lined up?
Yeah, on my calendar, because now I'm the counselor, I have, I'll put this way, small family vs big family, right? So I seldom have a chance to stay with my kids anymore. For the spring festival coming, I do have tons of events from community. I might spending some time with them, but definitely I'm gonna spend a few days or few nights because it's 15 days, right? I definitely gonna stay with my family to have a quiet dinner, just send kids with a red envelope with cash inside, with wish them well and then health. and success for their study for the 2025.
Okay, very good. And in Richmond Hill, I've looked at the most recent demographics, the stats, and there are a lot of people from Asian descent. So I am going to conclude that there are lots of people celebrating. Yeah, so can we maybe we could make it a holiday in Richmond Hill that celebrate Chinese New Year.
That's right. I think Rock region already passed a motion named February as the Chinese Heritage Month in Rock region. Also, Ontario government they passed a bill just end of 2024 December, named February will be also the Chinese Heritage Month as well. So I hope someday our city can discuss this opportunity if we can promote some events as a Chinese culture celebrations in our own city as well.
Okay, so we can have more of a celebration because I think you guys actually have fun. I like what the idea you're doing, fireworks, I'll question, but all sounds good. Is there
Yeah.
anything else that you'd like to add?
So far, yeah. So as it's Spring Festival's coming, Lunar Festival's coming as well. So whomever celebrate that festival, so congratulations. I wish everybody, especially for our residents and community members, I wish everybody in the snake year of 2025, happiness with you, wealth with you, and also safety for everybody. And let's work together. And wish everyone have a wonderful 2025.
Okay, I like that. Thank you. Now, I do end all the podcasts with the guest's response to the same question. So the question is, name one thing that you really like about this community.
Generosity.
I'm not certain if anyone's used that word with that spirit other people have said, so thank you for that. So I will add to the podcast notes your website. You have your own website. You can sign up for a newsletter. For everyone that's in Ward 4, I certainly encourage you to do it because you do put out an extensive newsletter, lots of good information. But you can take a few days off during Chinese New Year. We won't expect anything happening right away. But thank you, Simon, for taking the time to do this podcast.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening. I would very much appreciate you sharing this podcast. Please tune in next week as we continue to explore the community. Consider emailing me at Marj, M-A-R-J, at marjandre.com. I welcome suggestions for podcast guests. Stay well, stay connected.